Hello and welcome to yet another photography behind the scenes video. In today's episode, we're out in the night in a neighborhood I've known for a long time and often thought about shooting. So far, I hadn't found the right opportunity to come here, but this evening I decided it was time to finally come here with my camera. I started here on a kind of main road from where I planned to then walk into the inner streets of the area. This is the first shot of the night and I think we're off to a good start. I enjoy the mixed lighting in this scene. Most lamps on this road were colored in this typical tungsten orange, but here and there I found some white lights. Because my white balance was set to somewhere around 2500 Kelvin to counteract the orange tint of the tungsten lights, the white light now appears quite blue, which I think has a cool effect on the scene. Otherwise, there's not much to comment about on this photograph. The composition is fairly basic and all in all I think it's a decent start. I had walked a little and found another spot for a photo similar to the first one, just with slightly different elements in frame and a different lighting situation. In case you're wondering why I'm holding my hand up beside the lens, I was doing that to block some light from the side which was flaring the image. So this is the outcome, as said, very similar to the first picture. The main difference here is the lighting, seeing as the lamps here are mostly white. A small element I quite enjoy is that tree to the left, which is nicely lit by the lamp on the left, which isn't in frame. Overall, I like the calm emptiness of the photo. Next, I had come to a smaller road where I saw a car approaching me in the distance. This came so suddenly that I sadly don't have any footage to show you how I got the shot. Here it is. It's again a simple composition, a basic center frame, which some might dislike for its primitiveness, but you probably know that I'm actually really fond of this kind of simplicity. Interesting elements in this photo I find worth highlighting are again the mixed lighting. We've got this nice contrast between the lamp's warm light and the car's cool light. I also love how direct the car's headlights are, which create this flare. Then I had come to this little bridge where I saw some potential for a composition. However, there was one thing missing for me to make the scene a decent photograph: light. The bridge is supposed to be the focus of the composition, however all the light is at the back on the road. Nevertheless, I had set up the camera to see if I could think of anything to do, and then I got lucky. A car was approaching the bridge from my side and I was able to get a shot of the scene with the car's front lights lighting up the foreground of the composition. This is it. I love how this accidentally turned out. The composition now works perfectly in my opinion. The foreground is beautifully highlighted by the car's headlights, which have this neutral, almost cool tone, whereas the lights at the back are a bit warmer. I also enjoy how the tree, as another foreground element, is brightly lit as well, which seems to create a point of balance. Next I came here, which is just a little further down the road. The bridge I just photographed is so close that it's even in this composition. As you can guess, the subject I was aiming to compose for is that mirror. At first I simply got a shot of this scene, but as I was about to move on, I saw a car coming my way, so I saw a chance of including it in the photo. So here's the first shot. It's a solid photograph I think. I'm happy with the composition and I'm positively surprised by the lighting. The mirror is nicely highlighted by the lamp to my left, which is just out of frame, and the background has this point of interest created by the lamp at the back, which lights up the scene back there and provides some balance to the photo. The second shot I got, the one with the car, is also pretty cool. It's almost the same, just with two added elements, the light trails and the right part on the right edge. I think these two add some interesting effects to the photo, but overall I think I slightly prefer the first one because of its more calm and still character. Then I continued to walk down the road and came across a house which I thought might be suitable for a photograph. I liked the scene in front of me, the small characteristics of the house, so I set up a rather long exposure to get the shot. This is the outcome, and I think it's not particularly good, but okay. Looking back at the scene now, I do still like it. I think the house is a cool subject. I think what I don't enjoy as much is the lighting here. Possibly a different lighting situation would improve the photo. Then again, just a little further down the road, I found these two mirrors next to each other with a lamp in between. This scene seemed so perfect, as if it was made to be photographed. I decided to go with a symmetrical center composition. This is the result, and I still enjoy the composition a lot. Little things I would like to point out, which also just add to the composition in my opinion, are the differing height over the mirrors. The right mirror is slightly lower than the left, which creates this little bit of tension. The composition keeps its symmetrical character, but that height difference just adds a sort of spice to it. And the other point I wanted to mention is the fire hose, which also kind of breaks the symmetry, but only so little that it acts as another point of tension. Then the next photograph I found was at the same spot, just with the camera pointed to the right, where there was another one of those small bridges. I decided to get this shot from the side. This is it. I think it's quite alright. I like the signpost, which simply adds another element to look at. Overall, however, I think the photo is a bit boring. I think it's the lighting again, which doesn't create much of an atmosphere or feeling. I think if I had another passing car shine its lights at the bridge, that might create a sense of mysteriousness, which would enhance the photo. After that, I walked quite a while without finding any new compositions, and by now I was in a different street, where I found this lonely bin in front of some bushes and trees. I liked the scene here. This lonely bin somehow evoked some interesting feelings when looking at it, and so I decided to compose a shot. This is what I got, and I'm liking it. The feeling I was trying to capture definitely comes through in my opinion. The composition is pretty simple and minimized to basically only 3 elements: the bin, the road, and the greens. Looking at the bin here gives me a feeling of calmness, but also some kind of melancholy caused by the loneliness of the bin, as if the bin had feelings. Then I came to another road where I found a trailer parked in front of a house. I thought this was a cool subject to shoot, and so I tried out a composition. This is it, and now looking at it, I don't really like it anymore. The trailer works as a subject, but the rest of the photo doesn't fit so well. It seems a bit messy, or maybe aimless. This new road I was on was a bit bigger, and I thought I could get another one of those good old running shots on this road, because it seemed quite suitable for that kind of photo.
That last shot is funny.
I've chosen 2 shots of the few that I got. One in which I'm rather close and one in which I'm further away. I think I prefer this one, I'm not sure though. Overall, I think the photos turned out quite nicely, but there's one element I've been missing this whole night already: mist. Sadly, now in summer, there's not really a chance of finding mist, at least I haven't found any yet. So I definitely want to come back here and get the same shot again, but in a misty night, which I believe will look amazing. Oh, and one more photo I got is this one, which is quite random, but I like it too. Then a little later, somewhere on my way back to where I started, I found this really old looking house. It seemed interesting for its mysterious vibes, so I set up the camera and got this photo. This one looks alright. I don't particularly enjoy it. That might be because the feeling it evokes is one I don't exactly enjoy. It feels haunted, and I'm not much of a horror fan. Then, this was again a little later, almost back at my starting point, where I found this street that leads to this one lamp. This photo I think is quite cool. While the last one felt oddly haunted, this one feels more mysterious, which is a kind of feeling I do actually find a certain positive excitement in. The photo really focuses on that one spot on the street next to the lamp that is lit up, and I begin to wonder why it is highlighted. What is there that needs this light? That's of course up to the viewer's interpretation. After that, I made my way back to where I started and headed home. This was a nice session out here. I really enjoyed the warmth of the summer night. It felt unusual to not walk around in my jacket on a night shoot like this one. The photographs I was able to get were also pretty decent. I think my favorite is The Lonely Bin. That's actually a cool title for the photo. As always, I'm curious what your thoughts are. Which is your favorite? Let me know in the comments. I really look forward to reading. Anyway, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, I'd appreciate a like. That helps to grow this channel. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet, and I'll hopefully see you again next week in the next video. Until then, goodbye.